let's proceed to the checkable and non-checkable deposits or the transaction deposits. Ano itong checkable deposits? So, si checkable deposits, these are deposits placed in checking accounts that allow the depositors to withdraw money at will, write checks, and transfer funds electronically to and from the account. So, si transaction or checkable deposits, ito yung madalas nakikita natin ng mga accounts or checking accounts. Okay, na anytime and anywhere, pwedeng, halimbawa, magbabayad ka lang, susulat mo lang sa cheque yung ibabayad mo, and then you can transfer the funds electronically at your own will. Okay? Now, anong difference naman? Si checkable deposits, it provides safekeeping. It provides safekeeping, accounting, and payment services, but pay little or no interest. So, ito, madalas, dahil nga, saglitan lang to eh. So, pwede nga ba payment services mo lang. So, saglit mo lang siya malalagay sa bangko. So, it provides sobrang konti lang or minsan, wala pang interest sa bangko because depositors can earn more interest elsewhere and can easily transfer money to their checking accounts when necessary. So, ito yung sobrang dali lang ng pag-transfer. They generally keep only enough in their checking accounts to maintain the amount of liquidity they need to pay bills or to have as a source of cash. Okay, so that is transaction or checkable deposits. Now, let's proceed. What is non-transaction or non-checkable deposits? So these are the deposits in savings and time deposit accounts where withdrawals are limited. So si banks, yung mga non-transaction deposits, mas madalas ito dun sa mga hindi mo naman na talaga gagamitin itong pera na ito. So, kumbaga parang okay lang sa'yo kahit matagal ito na bago ma-withdraw. So, yun. So, those are the savings and time deposit. Ito naman, mas malaki yung interest na babayaran nila or makuha mo from the banks. Okay? So, these are that is the difference of the transaction or checkable deposits and the non-transaction deposits. So, now let's proceed. What are non-depository institutions? So, kanina we discussed the banking. Those are the banking. Ang depository institutions are banking institutions. Okay. Now, what are non-banking or non-depository institutions? So, they collect money as premiums, contributions, or by selling securities for specific purposes, and then invest the money for higher returns. See, non-depository institutions, it includes insurance companies, pension funds, securities firms, and finance companies. Ano ginagawa nila? So, hindi sila magko-collect ng deposits from the savers, okay? But they collect contributions. Okay, so parang you will be a member or mag-subscribe ka sa kanila, sa policy nila, and then they will now collect contributions from you. Eto, hindi mo siya parang more than sa time deposits kasi ang time deposits, etong taon na to, gantong percent makuha mo. Etong non-depository institutions, madalas mas matagal pa siya bago mo siya makuha. But the returns are somehow more than the depository institutions. So, these are some of the non-depository institutions. Number one are insurance companies. So, sa insurance companies, sabi nila, di ba, marami na nag-i-insurance ngayon. So, medyo familiar na tayo dito. So, they protect their customers from the financial distress that can be caused by unforeseen events, such as accidents or premature death. Okay. So, si insurance, some of these ay iba-iba yung policy na ino-offer nila or products na ino-offer nila. So, what they do is they provide accident insurance kapag na-aksidente ka. May insurance din ang iyong sasakyan. So, para pag na-aksidente ka, sila yung sasagot ng pampagawa. Health insurance, life insurance, what if bigla kang mamatay, anong mangyayari sa pamilya mo, ganyan. So, ganun yung mga sinasabi nila. So, that is insurance companies. So, they pool the small premiums of the insured. So, halimbawa ako, I bought insurance. They will get my contribution every month or every quarter. So, to pay the larger claims to those who have losses. So, for example, merong namatayan, ganyan. So, they will use my money then. So, mag-iipon-ipunin nila yon para ma-support yung merong loss. Okay? The premium payments are regular while the losses are irregular. So, kapag naman halimbawa nakatapos na ako ng 10 years and then I decided to get my premium. So, eto, magiging regular siya na bayad na sa akin. So, parang nag-iipon lang din ako ng matagal na panahon and then in the future, I'm going to get that. And then, an insurance company can profit. Paano naman sila kikita, di ba? So, yan kasi, they can actually estimate the payment of claims over a large group by using statistics, and it can invest its surplus for greater returns. For example, dahil yung mga contribution ng lahat ng bumili ng policy sa isang insurance company, they can invest those contributions sa stocks then, and then kung nakapakinig na kayo ng mga insurance, yung mga presentation, pinapakita nila na, after 10 years, are the possible amount of your money. For example, mag-i-increase ng 8% yata ang pinakamataas, 6%, and then 4%, I'm not sure. So yan, na-compute na nila yon. Okay, in the past 10 years or ilang years na nandoon existing yung insurance company na to, na-compute na nila kung gaano kalaki ang percentage na tinataas ng pera. Okay? So, and ngayon, so, kaya, di ba, yung ibang insurance, maliit lang yung babayaran mo, yung iba naman, malaki. So, yun. So, kasi, meron na silang computation for that. And syempre, doon sa makukuha mo na pera from them kapag ka na nag-premium ka na or na buo mo na yung 10 years. Okay, so those are insurance companies. So again, parang mga bangko, they will invest their monies din sa securities, stocks din, so yun. So if you're going to look at sa Philippine Stock Exchange, ayan, may mga Sun Life dyan, so yun. So makikita mo yung mga insurance companies na trading din sa stocks exchange. Okay, so doon din sila kumikita. Next are pension funds. What are pension funds? They collect contributions from workers and businesses to invest so that workers can retire with an income provided from their invested funds. So, madalas sa pension funds, these are set up by businesses, labor unions, or governments for their employees. So, si employers and si employees, they make contributions from their payrolls. So, meron dyan na ibabawas sa'yo for your pension fund. So, yun. Ngayon, si fund manager, i-invest niya yung pera na binawas, kinurot doon sa income mo, para mag-earn yung money na yun. Okay? That will allow it to pay out the benefits according to a prescribed schedule based on the actual estimates ng pension mo. So yung contributions mo to the fund and the returns earned by the fund, ang maganda lang sa pension funds is tax-deferred siya. So, tax-free siya. Kaya din, madalas ang mga employer or maraming mga pension, yung mga employers, they put up pension funds. So, yun, para ma-secure itong fund na ito na tax-free. So, yun. So, that is the advantage of pension funds. Siyempre, before you get a certain amount of pension fund, di ba, may mga magtatanong na, ma'am, kapag ba nandito ako sa company na to, automatically I can get my pension funds? No. There is a requirement. Okay, so you have to work for a minimum amount of years para maging qualified ka sa benefits ng pension. So that is the pension funds. Okay, next are the securities firms. So what are these? They provide the institutional foundation that allows investors to invest their money in the various financial markets by providing current market information and allowing the investors to select market or limit orders to buy or sell securities through their computer system. Okay, so securities firms, ito yung madalas sa mga stock markets. Okay, so what they do is they will provide, for example, I want to invest in securities. Okay, securities firms, they will provide the current market information. So makikita mo saan ako pwede or saan worth it na mag-invest na company. Okay, and then they will allow the investors to select market, ililimit nila yung orders to buy or sell securities through the system that they have. Other securities firms ay merong investment companies, si brokerage and investment banks. Okay, I'm going to give you an example as in actual brokerage later. Okay, so sa investment companies, they pool the investments of many people into a single portfolio that is managed by professional managers. So, ano tong investment companies? Ito yung mga mutual funds. They provide expertise and economies of scale that small individual investors would not be able to afford otherwise. For example, sobrang mahal ng stocks ng isang particular company. Okay, what they will do is they will invite you to invest in a mutual fund. Ano yung mutual fund? Si mutual fund, ang gagawin niya is dahil mutual siya. Okay, so yung isa-isang investor, okay, kukunin nila yung investment nila sa mutual fund and then they will pagsasama-samahin nila yung in a single portfolio. Now, maganda ito sa mga wala namang masyadong pera para mag-invest sa stocks. Akala kasi nila kailangan nila ng millions of money to invest in stocks. Pero actually, hindi naman talaga. So, you can invest in mutual funds. So, ang gagawin ni manager, ni professional manager, siya ang bahalang mag-manage ng fund na binigay mo. Okay, and then, syempre, may kita yun. So, for example, kumita yung stocks na ito. So, kumita yung pinag-investan ni professional manager. Syempre, may kita yung investment company kasi sila yung nag-invest para sa pera mo. Tapos, meron ka din kita from that. Okay, so yun. So, parang maghahati-hati kayo nung mga nag-invest din in the mutual funds. Madalas na mga meron nag-offer din ng mutual funds ay ang mga bangko. Ayan. So, and then there are also investment companies na offer ng mutual fund products nila. So, pwede ka halimbawa sa BPO, pwede ka nang bumili ng mutual fund doon. So, and then, kikita na lang ng kikita iyon as time goes by. Next naman is the brokerage. Okay? So this provide an institutional framework that allows retail investors to invest in stocks, bonds, options, futures, and other financial instruments directly. Unlike kay investment companies, ito kasi indirect, so parang may middleman ka pa din. So yun, si brokerage, may middleman pa din, pero you're going to invest in stocks directly. So yun, papakita lang nila sa'yo kung paano ka kung ano yung mga may papakita, parang may software sila, they will provide trading software that will allow you to select your trades, settlement and clearing services to effect the transactions. So, I'm going to show you an actual brokerage account. Okay, so COL Financial Philippines is one of the famous na brokerage account here in the Philippines. So, and then nagtatrade ito sa Philippine Stock Exchange only. So, hindi pa siya international level. So, here, you can see, so ito yung parang, di ba, sabi ko kanina, there is a trade software. Okay, eto, meron silang website. So, once you nag-apply ka sa kanila to invest, they will give you an account. Okay, parang social media. So, yun. So, merong, set ka lang ng password, ayan, and then here, you're going to see the actual situation ng ating market. Okay, so for example, here, so, halimbawa, gusto kong malaman eto na, meron na siya dito, most active stocks by value. For example, BPI. So, yun. So, ito yung makikita ko. Ayan, ito yung value ng stocks. Ito yung stocks na meron siya. Ayan, SM, Globe, BDO. For example, ang madalas ko kasing tinitingnan dito ay Jollibee. So, GFC. For example, I want to look sa Jollibee Foods Corporation. Yes, ang amount ng stocks ni Jollibee as of this moment ay 189 pesos per stock. Okay? So, sabi ko kaya hindi mo kailangan ng millions to to start investing in stocks. Okay, actually may mga stocks pa na mabababa. Ito yung isa pa sa um monitor ko din ang Pure Gold. Ayan, 42 pesos. MPI din or Metro Pacific Investment Score, 4 pesos. So, ganyan lang kaliliit ang presyo ng stocks niya. So, so this is just an example. For example, si Jollibee. I bought some stocks ng Jollibee at 149 pesos. Okay? So, dahil ngayon, ang presyo ni Jollibee ay 189, tapos pag winidraw ko yan, meron na akong kita ng 30 pesos per stock. Okay? Now, si COL, ang gagawin niya, it provides, sabi nga kanina, di ba? Dahil siya yung broker eh. So, yun. So, they will provide you the information that you need para makapag-trade ka, malaman mo kung saan ka dapat mag-trade. For example, there is a technical guide here, or pwede mo rin siyang makita din here sa research and then technical guide. So, yan. So, wherever, pwede naman. So, dito lang, yan, dyan ka pwedeng tumingin ng mga situation ng mga companies. For example, here are the banks. Okay. Ito si BDO. Yan, AUB, si BDO. Yan. If you're going to see, sabi dito, ang trend niya ay pataas. Pataas ang stocks ni BDO. So, ang advice niya is for you to buy. Kasi pataas siya. For example, ayan, si BDO Leasing and Finance, pababa siya. So, ang advice niya ay to sell. But I have here a reminder na yung mga risk taker talaga, if you really want to earn more here, you should be willing to be a risk taker. Ang isa sa advice, kasi there are some YouTube tutorials ng COL, sila mismo yung nagpa-provide. So, ang isang advice nila is you should be able to be willing to lose an amount of money na okay lang sa'yo. Sobra mo talaga yan. Okay, okay lang sa'yo kahit mawala yan. Okay, hindi siya lahat ng savings mo dapat ilagay mo dito. No. Okay, kasi kasi ang stocks is taas-baba siya. So once na bumaba siya, sobrang low na ng moral mo. Paano kapag ka nag-zero pa yan? Eh di wala na talaga yung lahat ng pinaghirapan mo. So, you should be willing to invest the amount na okay lang mawala sa'yo. Okay? So, for example, you want, ayan, si BPI. So, kaya, ako din, ang isa din sa gusto ko na strategy is, kapag down siya, mas bumili ka. Why? Kasi, kung stable naman itong company na to, nasa blue chip companies siya. Okay, you may search kung ano ang blue chip companies here in the Philippines. Kasama si Meralco, si Jollibee, ayan. So, yun kasi yung mga sinusubaybayan ko. So, kapag nag-invest ka sa blue chip companies, tapos pababa yung stocks niya, better to buy more stocks. Why? Kasi, dadating din naman yung panahon na tataas yan. For example, si Jollibee, before mag-quarantine, nung nag-quarantine, sobrang bagsak ang stocks ng Jollibee. Okay, ngayon, yung ibang nag-i-invest, what they will do is, binenta nila ngayon yung stocks nila kasi kinakabahan sila, baka malugi daw sila. Okay? So yun, but if you will wait for the right timing, kasi siguro umabot ang stocks ng Jollibee ng 130, or 120 pa, imagine. Kung hinintay mo siya, ang stocks na ni Jollibee ngayon, ni JFCI, 189. Okay, imagine, kumita ka dapat. Naintindihan? So, yun. So, ayan, ang niya, up, pataas ang profit, ang ni Jollibee. So, you have to take profits. Okay, so yan. So, this is an example of a brokerage. COL is just one. Marami pang brokerage companies or businesses na nag-offer ng ganito. So, yun. So, they will show you yung mga dapat mo na pag-investan, ano yung mga pataas, ano yung mga pababa. So, yun. So, this is for the brokerage. So, we're done with the investment companies and the brokerage. So, let us now proceed to the investment banks. So, what are investment banks? Investment banks help businesses and other organizations to sell their own stocks and bonds to the investing public. So, si investment banks, they offer advice to the issuer. Okay, so they register the securities sa Securities and Exchange Commission, and then they sell the securities to their customers. So, parang siyang so bangko siya. So what they will do is they will encourage the businesses and other organizations na ibenta sa kanila yung stocks nila and yung bonds. And then, sa investment banks, ibebenta naman nila iyon sa public. Okay, sa mga savers, sa mga talagang stock traders. Okay. Example ng investment banks are JP Morgan Chase. Ayan, if you hear JP Morgan, medyo famous siya. So yun, JP Morgan Chase, Morgan Stanley, or Citigroup. Okay, so those are some of the investment banks. Marami pa. Marami pang investment banks here in the Philippines. Okay, so yun yung trabaho nila. They will get the securities, yung stocks and bonds sa mga businesses, sa mga corporation, tapos sila yung magbebenta. Siyempre, ibebenta nila yun at a higher price, yun, doon sila kumikita. Next naman, okay, so we're done with the securities firms, which are the investment companies, the brokerage, and the investment banks. Next and the last one are finance companies. Okay, this is another type ng non-depository institutions. Again, they will not get deposits from the savers. Okay, but what they will do is they will provide loans to people or businesses using the issuance of short-term securities, especially commercial paper, as a source of funds. Si finance company, unlike sa bangko, si finance company will not receive cash deposits from clients nor provide the other services common to banks such as checking accounts. Ang gagawin nila, sila yung mag-finance. So, you can loan. Pwede ka, ang dami ng finance companies ngayon dito sa Philippines. So, they will provide loans, halimbawa, business loan. Meron pa nga professional loan. So, paglo-loanin nila yung mga accountants, yung mga doctors. So, yun, so may mga na-encounter din ako na gano'n. So, kumikita sila, syempre, dun sa interest that they will get from that loan kapag binayaran na siya. Ano ang example nito? For example, Quick Lend Financing Company. Basta yung mga name ng company ay may financing. Financing ko. Tapos may limited pa minsan. So, yun. So, those are some example ng financing companies. If before ka mag-file ng loan to these kind of companies, you may check online sa Securities and Exchange Commission if they are registered in sa ating sa SEC. Okay, before you are going to provide those, syempre for legality purposes na din. So yun, so those are some of the depository, okay, so depository or banking and non-banking institutions that we have here in the Philippines. So if you have your questions, you may i-comment nyo din sa comments section, and then I will be happy to answer all of those. Okay, kung merong hindi clear, kung merong nag-arise na question, kung merong hindi na i-discuss, you may comment it down, and then meron kayong additional information, ayan, pwede nyo rin siyang i-comment down below para mabasa din ng ibang viewers natin. So yun lang, thank you so much for listening, and I hope to see you in the next videos.